Now more than ever, we must stick together, united.
Well, that was a fucking lie. Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure Season 2 ended on a massive cliffhanger, one that I haven't been able to stop thinking about, so I'm doing a video to express my thoughts and feelings. Fair warning, if you're not caught up with Tangled up to Season 2 finale Destinies Collide, don't go any further. Just close this video now. Why are you even watching this? I'm literally discussing the final scene. Stop. Get out. There we go. So, Cassandra, huh? She really did that. Just full-on went in there and betrayed her very best friend Rapunzel, huh? Grabbed the Moonstone and took its power for herself. We're left with a lot of questions. Also some answers, but mostly questions. And the biggest one is, why? Now, I don't believe that Cass has any intention to hurt Raps or any of her friends. I simply refuse to believe that her entire life throughout these last 2 seasons was a ruse to get the stone, or that her feelings toward Raps and the gang weren't genuine. You don't sing a song about cherishing the time you have with your friends while planning to betray them unless you have some doubts, some regrets, unless those feelings are sincere. She's done so much, risked everything just to protect Rapunzel. You don't do that unless you have real love and loyalty for someone. So with that in mind, why would she do it? Most everyone is in agreement that it has something to do with the events of 2 episodes prior. Rapunzel-topia. This episode is set in the house of yesterday's tomorrow, just like the last few before it. While looking for Rapunzel, who is in the clutches of Zantiri's minion Matthews, Cassandra is literally called out to by a glowing door, and she goes into it. We don't see her again until she comes out of this door after the rest of the house had already collapsed. She has this angry expression on her face right when she comes out, and doesn't really seem particularly happy to see Raps, despite finding her being her only goal until going through that door. Something happened in that room. But what? Let's get into some of the popular theories. Theory 1. This isn't Cass. This theory states that Cass was replaced with a doppelganger or was brainwashed by Zantiri. Personally, I'm not a fan of this one. It seems to me like a bit of a lazy cop-out to give us a big cliffhanger before a several-month hiatus, and then just be like, haha, nope, it wasn't even her, we got you good. It seems like it goes against Cassandra's entire arc and characterization for it to be a fake. There is some evidence to support this, like her refusal to remove her armor, but that could also mean something else. Theory 2. Cass is being manipulated. This isn't too far off from being not Cass, but I like this one better, primarily because it means Cass is still Cass. Zantiri, or something in that room, has convinced her that for one reason or another, it's imperative that she take the Moonstone, either for herself or for someone else. Maybe Zantiri offered to fix her arm in exchange for the Moonstone. It could be many things, but it still hinges on it not being her decision. But still being her decision? Theory 3. Destiny. Many people, myself included, thought that Cass's comments about destiny were a little uncharacteristic. I feel like I'm someone who understands Cassandra's character pretty well, and she always struck me as more of a down-to-earth, here-and-now, action-oriented person, like someone who would prefer to shape her own destiny, that where you come from doesn't matter, but what you're doing now that does. Lance even points out that her buying into this destiny nonsense is surprising. So why does she believe that taking the Moonstone for herself is her destiny? Whatever she saw behind that door changed her. Maybe they showed her her past or her future, or maybe she knew all of that from the beginning. We know nothing about Cass's past. She was orphaned and then raised by the captain of the guard. Who were her parents? How did she end up with him? It's not entirely impossible that she could be descended from residents of the Dark Kingdom. Whatever she saw made her realize that she needs the Moonstone more than Raps does. Maybe she needs its power to do something. Maybe she just needs more power, to be better, to be stronger, to achieve her dreams. Maybe she just thinks she's not good enough, not strong enough, that Raps has all the power of the Sundrop and doesn't really need her. Maybe if she just had a comparable power, she wouldn't be left waiting in the wings. Theory 4. Protecting Raps. I'll be honest, I leaned toward this immediately, instinctively, when I first watched the episode. But The more I thought about it, the less sense it made. Protecting Raps has always been Cass's #1 priority, particularly throughout this season, which is why I thought that this has to be some way of doing that. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this doesn't make sense. The key here is her dialogue. Be careful who you trust makes it sound like, yes, she is doing this despite it not being in Raps' best interests. If this was really to protect her, it would be more like a, Raps, just trust me, I know what I'm doing, instead. Emphasizing that Rapunzel can trust her rather than that she shouldn't. Trust has been a big thing between the two of them for this entire season, even in this very episode. It feels almost cruel for them to emphasize trust so much, only to break those bonds so thoroughly. Theory 5. This was her plan all along. I don't believe Cassandra is a liar. She's not. Yes, she deceived her friends to get the Moonstone, but that's an exceptional circumstance. Cass led Raps to the rocks. I do find it hard to believe that she knew anything about the Sundrop and the Moonstone ahead of time, but despite all of that, I can't entirely deny the possibility. While this is one extremely elaborate sting operation, there's precedent for that. In Season 1, Cass spends an entire episode faking being in love with Andrew of the Separatists of Seporia just to catch the perp and lock him up. This proves that she's actually a really good actress, and it's not unreasonable to think that maybe she could be able to keep it up this long. It's still a bit of a stretch, and I absolutely hate the idea that everything I love about this character is a lie, but I still can't discount it 100%. And that kills me inside. And that's about it. Whatever the reason she took the Moonstone, be it a fake Cass or a manipulated one, whether she needs it for noble intentions or for evil, whether this was a recent idea or just her plan all along, we can't say for sure. I like to believe she's doing it for a good reason, and once she's achieved whatever her goal is, she'll make amends with Raps and friends. But given that we know she wasn't at the wedding, well, I'm not holding my breath.
But I'm left waiting.